Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on ordering objects. In this video we will look at the different ways we can order objects and numbers. Example 1. Consider the following two squares. There's a yellow one and a red one. In how many different ways can the above two squares be placed side by side? Order is important. Well, here's the answer. You can have the yellow one first and the red one second, or you can have the red one first and the yellow one second, so there are two different ways. So that's quite easy to understand, isn't it? Example 2. In how many different ways can the following three circles be placed side by side? So we have the green, the brown and the blue. Okay, there's the first one, green, brown, blue. Leave the green where it is and swap the other two. So that's two altogether. So that's once. That's the second view. Now we put the blue first and then we have the green and the brown. So there's the third way. We leave the blue first and swap the brown and the green around. So swap those two around. So that gives you 4. Then we put the brown first and we have the blue and the green. That gives you 5. Leave the brown there and swap the green and the blue around, and that gives you 6. So there are 6 different ways of ordering those three circles. Example 3. In how many different ways can the following two plants be placed side by side? That's very similar to the first one we saw about the two squares. So you can have this one first and this one second, or you can have this one first and this one second, so there are two different ways. How many different 3-digit numbers can be formed by the digits 1, 2 and 3? This is exactly the same as the previous one where we had the circles. So you can have 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2. Then you put the 2 first. 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 3. Then you put the 3 first, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Exactly the same as the circles, except this time we've used numbers. So there are 6 ways. Okay, so they are 6 different numbers. Example 5. How many 4-digit numbers can be formed by the digits 3, 4, 5, 6? This is a little bit more challenging. Okay. But you have to take your time. You have to be very systematic. So let's start with 3, 4, 5, 6 first. We leave the 3 and the 4 there and change the 6 and the 5 around. Then we put 3 and 5 first, and then the 4 and the 6. Leave the 3 and the 5 there, and then change the 4 and the 6 around. Then we do 3, 6. Then we write 5, 4. Leave the 3 and the 6 and change the 4 and the 5 around. So basically, each time you go through, you put the 3 first, the 4 first, the 5 first, and the 6 first. That's the trick. And you'll find you'll have 6 in each case. So altogether, there are 24 ways, okay, of ordering 3, 4, 5, 6. You've got 24 different numbers. Now I'm sure if you write these numbers on pieces of paper or little blocks or little squares, you will know what I mean. But it has to be very systematic. You can't just guess. You have to follow a system, and that's how you get the answer. Example 6. In how many different ways can the following objects be placed in a line? Okay, so here are the objects: the square, the circle and the triangle. And that's exactly the same as the one we did on the first slide with the 3 coloured circles. Exactly the same. So that one there, we'll just repeat it. Keep the square, swap the other two. Then you put the circle first, and you have square, triangle. Keep the circle first and swap the other two. Then you put the triangle first, and you have the circle and the square. Keep the triangle first and swap the other two. So it's a matter of going through it very carefully using a system without any guesswork. So I hope you enjoyed those puzzles, and if you like, just go back and revise those and get some little 3D objects or some concrete materials, some numbers on little square pieces of paper, and try them for yourselves.